This video is the third in a set of videos meant to introduce the work of Willa Cather. My goal is to provide a broad overview to her corpus as such, in the context of considering her turns. In the last video, we looked at her claim that the world split in two in 1922 or thereabouts, and we saw it worked out in her tension-filled novel One of Ours, where the alienated hero Claude Wheeler dies in World War I. Artistic greatness and human greatness are divorced from common life in America, and life there is now split in two. Cather's second turn, her resolution to this split, which included a turn to the church in a sense, provides a resolution to her crisis novels. Her second turn provides a vision of what kind of society can promote living a good life. The vehicles of pure art and liberal education are not strong enough in modern liberal society to knit the world together. Genuine communal or spiritual resources must be there for the art to catch. For these communities of meaning, Cather turns to feudal Quebec, though there are other novels where small-scale resolutions appear in the modern world. The most revealing novel after Cather's second turn is Shadows on the Rock, the book set in quasi-feudal Quebec. The other novels, set in the modern world, provide happy resolutions when the shadows of the church inform the lives of the modern characters. When the church casts no shadows, nothing but despair and death ultimately follow. Cather does not romanticize the olden days in Shadows on the Rock. They are days of poverty and more early death. More than a little oppression and the limits on freedom of the modern world are there. There is not a lot of social or economic mobility. None of the technological gizmos that make life in the modern world ostensibly easier and freer from necessity are present. The people of Quebec are nevertheless happy for living in the shadows on the rock. On the rock in Quebec sits the church. The church sets the dogma for the town. Early in the book, Cather writes that, quote, the Quebecois were still in their accustomed place in the world on the mount. And they had the same well-ordered universe about them, this all-important earth created by God for a great purpose, the sun which he made to light by day, the moon which he made to light by night, the stars made to beautify the vault of heaven like frescoes, and to be a clock and compass for man. And in this safe, lovingly arranged, ordered universe, not too vast, though nobly spacious, the drama of man went on at Quebec just as at home in France. There was sin of course, and there was punishment after death, but there was always hope, even for the most depraved. Everyday suffering has meaning. The longing of one such as Claude Wheeler, from One of Ours, is seen through the lens of temptation, human imperfection, and God's mercy. The church provides a climate within a climate. Here is the devotion that Claude desired, but could not embrace. There are excesses of this devotion, to be sure, but the excess is not an argument against the mean. Devoted characters also provide the remedy to the diseases of modern bourgeois life in some of Cather's other novels. The Professor's House is one that hits home the most. Godfrey St. Peter is the protagonist in this novel. Think of that name, how confused it is. Is he Godfrey, or is he St. Peter? He also begins the novel in two houses, an old house that is beautiful, but practically without running water, and a new house, eminently sensible and practical, but without the ancient beauty. His is a life split in two. Well, I will not discuss this novel in detail, Let it suffice to say that Godfrey is dissatisfied with his life and nearly dies in the old house from a gas leak. He is saved by, and he guesses here, his maid, the devout Catholic maid named Augusta, the Most High. Much the same can be said in The Breach. Lucy Gayheart is also a beautiful novel, in which Lucy tries to provide meaning in her life with romantic love. But this ends badly, and she dies falling through the ice while ice skating. I could go on and on. What I have been trying to establish here is that Willa Cather is a proper object of study for those interested in the question, how shall I live? Hers are the questions of political philosophy. Sympathetic to feudal times, Cather did not recommend bringing them back to America. Her final novel, Sapphira and the Slave Girl, shows, among other things, that she has no desire to see the inequalities and tyrannies of such arrangements introduced again in the modern world. Her art shows the limits of what we can expect in the modern world. We cannot expect mass appreciation of beauty. We must expect people to be taken with a vision similar to Baylis. Most will be distracted by commercial enterprises or by schemes for social improvement that do little to encourage a deep intercourse with the greatest minds. It is up to those schooled in the tradition, schooled in the vision of yesterday's 7,000 years, to return to Cather's phrase, to see what is possible at any particular time. It is our particular job as educators to cultivate this awareness. There is no need for a democracy to be an intellectual wasteland. Our authors and artists have provided much food for thought on the question of human greatness. They have depicted the misery and longings of mankind with haunting beauty and pathos. They have forced us to glimpse into life's doors, to birth, to love, to death, to seek the appropriate meaning and reaction. Of these things, citizens in our democracy must be aware. For cultivating an awareness, I can think of no better place to start than Willa Cather's A Lost Lady in particular. For cultivating this awareness, Willa Cather provides among the most potent and telling starting points. She is and can be a rung on the ladder to wisdom about the human situation. Thank you for listening to this introduction to Willa Cather.